small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians.
So, here we have the small fringe minority standing up for their basic human rights. Hundreds of truck drivers are rolling out of Canadian cities to protest the vaccine mandate put on Canadian truck drivers. So let's get the story straight. In order for a cross-border Canadian truck driver to go into the US and deliver freight, he now has to be vaccinated, fully vaccinated, before he can enter the US. Now, Canadians also put the exact same restrictions on US truck drivers. So US drivers can no longer come to Canada and deliver freight here without being vaccinated, fully vaccinated. Now, that's the story, and here is what's happening. So on January 23rd, the Convoy 2022 happened, and it started in British Columbia. So guys, the Freedom Convoy 2022 is not just about truck drivers. It's not just about cross-border drivers. Okay, here you have the vaccinated, the not vaccinated, you have people with one shot, you have people with boosters, you have everybody coming together, and everyone is just fed up with all these mandates, all these restrictions, not being able to travel, not being able to go to movie theaters. It's all these restrictions that we have, and people are just fed up with it. It's been 2 years, and we just want this to go away. And the Freedom Convoy 2022, this is what it's about. It's not about the truck drivers. The truck drivers and the vaccine mandate to go across the border is just the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, everybody is uniting, and it's not just the 10% of non-vaxxed truck drivers. So hear me out. Over $6.5 million has been raised for this convoy through a GoFundMe. $6.5 million. Now, it's all public information. You can see who are the donors, and these are just everybody and anyone out there that believes in this convoy and has had enough with these restrictions.
Небольшой канадский город Эспанола, стоящий на пути конвоя. Люди просто-напросто возбуждены. Они гордятся тем, что они канадцы, и они приветствуют конвой, они хотят быть частью.
Good, beautiful morning. We are in Espanola here, waiting for the trucks to show up. And, well, there's a bit of a crowd gathering here. Parking lot is packed full of people. It is minus 25, I think. We have another, I don't know, somewhere in the next hour the truck should show up. But people have been here for a long time already, waiting. So we'll try to get some footage of that. Pretty exciting. And definitely a lot of excitement in the air. A lot of people you talk to we're just kind of losing hope, and this has really regained a lot of people's respect for Canada and what we stand for here. This is not really part of the official convoy yet. They're still coming. They're another hour yet, I think, away. And then there's loads of them there, all the way to the intersection. You can see them past the intersection.
between two different types of people when we've always been together as one, and now it's just complete separation, and it's devastating.
I believe we have to protect our rights as citizens. This isn't about a vaccine or no vaccine. It's about what we're able to do every day.
The OPP is aware of potential protests that will be coming through the GTA area through until Saturday. We're expecting vehicles, large and small, converging into the GTA area from different areas across the province, Western Ontario, from the north, as well as down from Niagara. Officers will be monitoring and observing activities, and we certainly understand our role in this is to keep our highway safe and our communities safe.
Well, CTV's Mackenzie Gray is on the ground in front of Wellington Street. So, Mackenzie, show us around and tell us what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's really loud right here. Just like we were saying in that last hit, we've got tons of people kind of streaming up Wellington right here with lots of trucks. They're making tons of noise, really laying on the horn. And these trucks have been here since, the last couple of days. All that you're seeing right now were parked on Wellington when we got here at 6 o'clock in the morning. They slept here last night. And as we keep panning forward, you see tons of trucks, lots of signs. Most people don't like Justin Trudeau here. But up on the left-hand side, that big kind of older building near the crane with the Canadian flag, that's the Prime Minister's office right there. Police are not allowing the truckers to park in front of the Prime Minister's office. They're concerned about the security situation. Ryan, I'll just jump on the other side here. Then we've got Parliament Hill, where there's lots of protesters who are filing up, increasing as the minutes go by. Center block's under construction right now, which means that there's not as much space on Parliament as you're used to seeing on a regular Canada Day. We'll see if the protesters are able to kind of fill up that whole area. But it's certainly picking up here, Andrea. It's getting louder than it was before, and people are really starting to file in now.
Yeah, it's definitely picking up. More people, more noise. So how is this day going to shape up, Mackenzie?
Well, as we were saying earlier, we're expecting the main truckers to be coming in around noon today. They've been stationed up kind of around the Ottawa area. Big group in Arnprior, which is about 45 minutes outside Ottawa. And when they come into Ottawa, they're going to see that there's kind of police barricades that have been set up at some point, so they're not going to be able to kind of park up in here in Wellington. It's full already. They're going to be in and around the outlying areas and kind of in a little bit further out. So the expectation is that they're just going to find a place to park, then they're going to walk up to Parliament and come on here to the lawn, where we're going to be hearing from Maxime Bernier later. We're expecting Conservative politicians to come and meet the truckers. Pierre Poilievre, the finance critic, said he's going to be coming. A number of other Conservative MPs have said that they're going to show up too.
Pro football after 22 seasons, the 44-year-old quarterback has an all-time record 7 Super Bowl titles, winning his first in 2001 with the Patriots. That was one of 6 with New England before winning in 2021 with Tampa Bay. Brady has 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 regular season MVP awards, and holds a host of all-time records, including most pass completions, touchdown passes, and fourth quarter comebacks. It's game day for the Raptors. They'll take on the Heat from Miami. Tip goes at 5 o'clock. And Ash Barty has won the women's singles title at the Australian Open. She defeated Danielle Collins in straight sets. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour, or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day. On your radio.
On your television.
On our mobile app. And on your smart speaker.
Play City News Vancouver.
City News time, 12:47. Today marks the first National Day of Remembrance of the Quebec City mosque attack in action against Islamophobia. It was 5 years ago today that a lone gunman opened fire on worshippers shortly after the end of evening prayers at a mosque in St. Paul. Due to COVID-19, a ceremony outside the mosque where 695 others are looking will be virtual. A planned in-person vigil in Ottawa for today has been canceled due to that truckers' protest. Several events have been organized across the country. Premier John Horgan has issued a statement today, marking the occasion, saying in part that people must be united in opposition to hate speech and racist violence. Some Quebec parents are expressing concern over some schools leaving windows open at frigid temperatures in an effort to curb the spread of COVID. One parent who lives in Chateau Richer, north of Quebec City, says his daughter complained her classroom is sometimes so cold she wants to cry. Nicole Reese has more.
While the Education Department has installed carbon dioxide detectors in around 50% of classrooms, it hasn't acted to improve air quality. But Heidi Yetman, the president of the Quebec Provincial Association of Teachers, says she's unsure of how many of the 400 devices the province says it has received have actually been installed. Yetman says the government is sending mixed messages, telling teachers to open windows if the carbon dioxide levels are too high, while also telling them to keep windows closed if it gets too cold.
Provincial Health Department data yesterday showed 43 children under the age of 10 were in hospital with COVID-19, along with another 27 between 10 and 19 years old. 6 of the patients under 10 are in intensive care. As tensions between Russia and Ukraine appear to escalate, U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, insist the ball is still in Russia's court. Ian Pannell is in Kiev.
American forces on high alert to support neighboring countries, but both men stressing there is a way out. War is not inevitable, as the Secretary said. The right answer here is a diplomatic solution. The Kremlin insisting it doesn't want war. It has over 100,000 troops on Ukraine's borders, and every day it's releasing more brigades of its troops in training.
In Moscow, the Kremlin said Russian President Vladimir Putin told French President Emmanuel Macron that the West has failed to take Russian security concerns into account. Well, we have traffic and weather coming up next, which will have a look at your 5-day forecast. There is some sunshine a little later on next week, I do promise you that, but that's not, of course, before some good old-fashioned Vancouver rain. But after that, we'll have more on the
good for you guys!
January 6th attack as subpoenas
Let's go!
issued as their side of the border. Stay with us.
There's a lot of false information on the internet. Know the source.
Subscribe to City News on YouTube.
City News, everywhere. Cozy in the winter.
What are you singing about now?
My new heat pump. I love it. It's electric, it saves energy, and helps reduce my carbon footprint.
And it keeps you cozy in the winter?
Sure does. It also provides air conditioning, so it keeps me cool in the summer.
Right now, the BC government is offering rebates to help make the switch more affordable. Learn more at betterhomesbc.ca/heat pump. A message from the government of British Columbia.
There are 25 Swedish words for snow. A Volvo is made to withstand all of them. Rigorously tested in Sweden's Arctic Circle, every Volvo is designed to handle even the harshest Canadian winters. So no matter the weather, Volvo's advanced safety technology is designed to help make sure you and your loved ones arrive safe and sound. Finance a 2022 Volvo XC40 Recharge Pure Electric from 2.49%. A 2021 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winner. Conditions apply. Visit your Lower Mainland Volvo retailer or volvocars.ca.
12:51, that's traffic time. Here's Lindsay Horstein.
In North Vancouver, as soon as you get off the Ironworkers Bridge, there is an incident blocking the right lane, so that's really causing things to slow down over the Ironworkers and into Vancouver. And we also have some delay on Highway 1 westbound from Gallardi through to Grandview Highway. That's the Convoy. The Convoy getting off, of course, at Grandview Highway exit, and they are taking that to Nanaimo and connecting with Broadway, going over the Broad Street Bridge to get to the downtown core. If you can avoid that area, it would be strongly advised. Just save yourself a bunch of time today. And traffic at St. Walbert's Unlimited in Vancouver and North Vancouver. Especially in the winter. Get everything you need to become a backyard birder. Visit Walbert's Unlimited today in Vancouver, North Vancouver. From the Weather Center, heavy rain expected this afternoon. A high of 5 for today, a low of 3 this evening. And for tomorrow, rain continuing, a high of 7 degrees. For Monday, some sunshine, a high of 6. Mix of sun and cloud for Tuesday, a high of 5. And Wednesday, rain, a high of 4. It's 6 at the airport, 3 in the valley. Downtown Vancouver, it's cloudy and 5 degrees.
City News 1130, Insider Exclusive.
Dine Out Vancouver Festival is on now. Enjoy a lineup of mouth-watering menus and takeout options from your favorite restaurants. Dine Out Vancouver Festival also includes special hotel offers to help make an overnight dine-out, sleep-in experience both safe and relaxing. Taste the world Vancouver style now through the 31st.
Get all the details at citynews.ca.
City News time coming up on 12:53. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack has subpoenaed a dozen people linked to an alleged scheme to use fake electors to overturn the 2020 election results. Mary Alice Parks has more from D.C.
Lawmakers say each plotted to work around the will of the voters in their home states and submitted fake documents to the government. One of those subpoenaed, Nancy Connell, her name appearing on a certificate with others claiming to be duly elected and qualified electors, when in fact the electors were chosen by the voters.
Investigators say bogus certificates from 7 states that Donald Trump lost in were sent by registered mail to Vice President Mike Pence, suggesting that there could have been coordinated efforts to block certification of the election. Astronomers are trying to figure out the source of the strong radio waves detected in outer space. Astronomers in Australia say they've detected strong radio waves that appear to be natural but are pulsing, repeating every 18 minutes. She says objects emitting that much radiation typically have much higher energy. She says they're hoping to detect other wavelengths from it that can give them a better idea of what the object is. Mark Nolan, ABC News. Sure, you've heard the adage, money can't buy happiness, but could it buy newborn children better brain? City News 1130's Curtis Doring reports on a landmark poverty study out of the U.S. which involves giving new mothers free money. Later. they needed a motivating factor, but my guess is that the pandemic itself
Good for you guys!
will become a major motivating factor. That's Sylvan Charlebois with the Dalhousie University. And at the Business Center, I'm Richard Sutton.
Investing doesn't have to be daunting. In fact, you probably already do it. If you've updated your kitchen or basement, you're an investor. If you collect vintage vinyl, yep, you're an investor. Or if you've dedicated time to your education, you got it, investor. Start direct investing with Scotia Alpha and get up to
Let's show those fuckers!
stock and ETF commission pricing. Or up to 500 free stock and ETF trades when you open an account. City News 1130 at CKWX Vancouver. It's 1 o'clock.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather.
Good afternoon. It's Saturday, January 29th. I'm Vanessa Doban in Vancouver. Breaking news right now.
Due to security concerns from the Convoy protest, the Prime Minister and his family have reportedly been moved from their home to an undisclosed location. A local mayor is left feeling
Drivers in Whistler, Pemberton, and Squamish have started strike action with no service being offered except for essential and the remote controversial Chilliwack Trust Museum filed via BC Supreme Court petition has failed.
The Vancouver Canucks are on the road in Calgary to face the Flames. The Giants take on Kelowna, and Tom Brady's retiring after 22 seasons. Sports at 15. And coming up in business, the Bank of Canada signals it's going to start raising interest rates in early March. That's less than 5 weeks away. We're looking at strategies for your mortgage, variable or fixed.
City News 1130 time, 1:01. Let's head over to the traffic center. Here's Lindsay Horsting.
Coming off the Ironworkers Bridge northbound, we've got an incident blocking the right lane, and so it is slow as you approach the Ironworkers even and over the bridge deck. Coming south over the bridge, it's not looking too bad. It's actually better than it was about 20 minutes ago. And still some delays, Highway 1 westbound between Gallardi and Grandview Highway. It is the convoy. That convoy is taking that exit and then going west along Grandview Highway, taking a right at Nanaimo and then connecting with Broadway to the Broad Street Bridge.
The security concerns around this convoy protest have forced the
support that movement.
Poco's Brad West is rightfully passionate about Terry Fox. After all, he grew up in the city West now mayors and was proud of being Canadian. Now, after seeing images swirl on social media showing the Fox statue at Parliament Hill wearing signage to support the trucker convoy, well, West wishes he could take matters into his own hands.
There's probably some people in our city who feel like I feel right now, which is, I wish we lived a little closer to Ottawa, because I would be jumping in my truck, driving there, and tearing that crap off the statue myself.
West added with what Fox means to this country, he doesn't think there is ever any reason, political or not, to deface the hero statue. Michael Williams, City News.
If you take transit through Squamish, Whistler, or Pemberton, you won't be able to catch a bus today. City News reporter Robin Crawford explains the union representing bus drivers in that region, called Unifor, is taking strike action starting today. Spokesperson Gavin McGarrigle says it's all about wages and benefits.
We're looking at making some significant steps at closing
Jobs, thanks to a BC Supreme Court ruling. A local resident was hoping a petition alleging conflict of interest would unseat Mary Neufeld, who's made a name for himself opposing material designed to stop anti-LGBTQ bullying. Neufeld wanted the court proceedings dropped, arguing the allegations were frivolous. The resident argued the conflict of interest happened when Neufeld sat in on an in-camera meeting to which he wasn't invited because it was discussing his conduct. Neufeld then made reference to that discussion later at a public meeting. A judge's ruled there was no public interest in proceeding and dismissed the petition. Renee Bernard, City News. Following the approval of the SFU gondola from Burnaby City Council, we hear and Surrey Council's voting on a motion to suspend new ethics complaints until the next election, which is all the way to the fall. City News 11:30 time, 1:15. Time for sports.
To Danielle Collins, it's Straight Sets. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
City News 11:30 time, 1:17. Organizers have canceled a vigil in Ottawa to mark the 5th anniversary of the Quebec City mosque shooting, which left 6 men dead and 5 others seriously wounded. The trucker protest has made the gathering too difficult. A lone gunman shot and killed 6 worshippers shortly after. We're also reporting a slight decline in hospitalizations. That figure now standing at just over 3,400. 597 of those patients are in the ICU. Now there are a total of 4,855 new cases of the virus today. However, that number is an underrepresentation of the true figure, a result of changes to the province's testing policy. On Monday, restaurants, gyms, casinos, malls, and cinemas will reopen at 50% capacity. Social gathering limits will also increase to 10 people indoors and 25 outdoors. Proof of vaccination and other requirements such as masking.
Я поддерживаю Канаду, поскольку я канадская гражданка, и все свободы, которые здесь существуют. Мне нравится, когда Канада такая страна, в которую я приехала, то есть со своими правилами, законами, но тем не менее со своими свободами. Поэтому, смотря о чем идет речь, если эти тракеры говорят о том, что вакцина должна быть не обязательная, а добровольной, я думаю, что они правы. Мне так кажется.
Well, yeah, it's all garbage. You can't force people. Let me put it this way. If they're forcing you, they're going to force you to take the injection, right?
Yes.
Technically, in its most technical term, an injection is a medical procedure.
Right.
You need to have, if you're in a hospital, not just any nurse can give you an injection. It has to be somebody trained in those medical procedures. So, what has he really done? He has made it so the government can get you forced into a medical procedure. What's the next step? What's the next medical procedure he can force on you? Sterilization.
Anything they want.
Harvesting, who knows?
Yeah.
It can go anywhere.
Yeah, I think everybody should get vaccinated because there is no study, no research, no proof that vaccination will kill us. So if the doctors have invented something, there must be something like good in it. I don't think anybody will die because of vaccine. If we are not vaccinated, then certainly we are going to die.
Yeah, I know, and I heard even the military is being forced to have the shots, and these people are trained F-22 pilots in America. They take millions of dollars to train them, and they're like, oh, you don't have vaccination, you're fired. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what a waste of millions of dollars.
Так, еще раз, у нас вот где-то около 80% согласных. людей, типа, ну, у которых голова в телевизоре, как в микроовне, да. И в этом плане они якобы большинство, но заметь, что это большинство просто неразумные. Ну, люди просто верят, у них там своя религия, да. Но могу ли я осуждать там христиан там, или муслим там, или других иудеев за то, что они верят? Нет. Много их? Да, много. То есть, если можно сказать, они разумные, ну, наверное, нет в этом отношении. Они не опираются на данные, они просто опираются на веру в телевизор. Ну, не больше.
Yeah, listen. We fucked up.